Welcome back, everyone, to the Ashen Trials Season 1. We are continuing the group stage. We have a matchup of Memories versus Ego. We have Dino Melon on the side of Ego, killing on the Spirit. I am Monarch, back from the previous match. I am joined this time by a different co-caster, Jaqnife. Jaqnife, how you doing?
I'm doing great, Monarch. It's good to be here. I'm excited to see what these teams can show us today. Good little phase by Dino Melon. I think he's going to get an early tag, and denying first tag is such a strong strategy against Spirit, or such an important kind of aspect of the game, I should say, as we're going to have an injured Ada here who is going to be taking a relatively quick down at the truck. This is a good start for Dino. And I'm interested to see how he wants to play this, because with a quick down, sometimes Spirit can be very, very good at just camping someone and tunneling them straight out of the game. So we'll see how far Dino wants to get away from this hook to try to pressure his gens, since he does have Dragon's Grip and Eruption to put down if he can find the generators that they're working.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Spirit is one of those higher tier sets, but we're expecting the pace of the match to be a lot faster, expecting all of these much faster downs to happen. I am eyeing the Dragon's Grip in the build. I wonder if that's going to come into play, whether that's actually going to allow for a cheeky little insta down if someone manages to touch that gen. But we are seeing what you're saying, as Dino is sort of just hovering around the area, around the hook, wanting to cut off any potential survivors from coming in for an on hook and to just get Gallo out of this game immediately. Although Dino has traversed halfway across the map, is going to find the gen that Smile's working in here, using the audio to try and get a tag onto Smile, but the tree is just too strong, and great pathing from Smile to avoid that M1 tag. Now the unhook is going to come through for Gallo, and that is a very quick reset onto Gallo. So if Dino wants to commit to this chase, that's going to be two health stages he needs to chew through.
Yeah, looks like we had some kind of reset perk used there, and now your tunnel out has been completely healed. And is this hurt? It is. Okay, so we get the re-injury. That's really good for Dino. And we're likely going to see Shaq Pellet get insta-dropped here. Something that you see a lot of times on Wrecker's Yard is either first or second chase for the tunnel out is just Shaq being dropped, because this killer is so much about the macro of this set, and not so much like, you're not going to have a crazy set chase against a really good Spirit player. Like Dino is showing here, he's not going to let you, loop him for long. The Spirit's chase power is too good. And there is the down and Eruption on the generator. And we might go to the same hook here, but it looks like a couple gens are about to pop, which is exactly what Memories needs. And this is a cross-ping match as well, so keep that in mind if we do see some crazy hits come through. This is North America, South America on each side.
Yeah, SA to NA isn't the biggest ping differential. It's not as big as something like EU to NA, but there is still ping differential. So it's going to favor Dino here. It's going to favor the killer side a little bit, as they're able to freely go for a couple more swings, knowing that due to ping advantage, yeah, that'll probably hit. Good gen efficiency coming from the side of Memories, as they're really using all the time in the world for Gallo's chases to get these gens done before they're forced into a 3v1. We do see here a little bit of a scratch marks coming through. That is going to be Smile trying to stealth around for the unhook, but they're just going to send it instead after the tag. And now Gallo back in chase once more. How long can Gallo survive? Does not have Shaq, but does have a Phil to play around. But Phil against Spirit is not the strongest in the world. It's a ton of 50-50s that you just got to win. Gallo running for their life right now, but unfortunately this is not separate ways. You do not have a grapple hook to get out of jail for free. Just going to drop this pallet right in front of Dino's face. Has booked it all the way to the other side of the map. This is a really good macro play from Gallo here, trying to get Chase away from the hooks, but against a Spirit, down is just inevitable.
Honestly, solid chase there for the tunnel out. We saw the survivors getting as much gen progress as they could, but ultimately somebody has to rotate for the slugged Orela. And now we're going to be going into 3v1, and Dino still kind of has a 3-gen intact, dare I say. They pop 2 gens on the right side, and they have 3 gens kind of all dotted along the far left end of the map. So I suspect we're going to see a lot of chases try to go to the same kind of area that Gallo just died in. And you don't want to get caught in a bad spot, take a bad tag, and let Dino 2-tap to use Spirit's chase power. Forcing him, just like this, forcing him to use all of his phase just to get a tag to make FAR 3 is really good for the survivors.
Yeah, I would also like to point out that Dino still has all three pain resistance tokens available for play, so these downs now are gonna accumulate to a lot of pressure off of gens if they can find the pain resistance phase onto Seth. They're not using the full phase, so the phase is gonna come back pretty fast. And now Seth, all they're doing is just bulking it to the other side of the map. They do not want downs anywhere near the left side, as this is a really good play from here, getting that down halfway across the map, really forcing Dino to really extend themselves if they want to go for this down. And we're going to see a little bit of aura off of the server. I believe that is Shots, who is exposed due to the eruption aura. So now Dino has a bit of an idea in his head of where Shots is. Not going to get free info on the Aurela, but knowing that the Aurela is injured, probably not going to be on a gen.
Yeah, really, really dangerous to try to work any kind of 3-gen or 4-gen spread while injured, especially against Spirit. So likely Crooked Smile going to be the one playing for the unhook, I would imagine. While Shots tries to get progress on a generator somewhere else. But with one person injured, you kind of have to try to get it for free, right? Because you can't just send in and trade in 3v1 against Spirit on a pain res hook. And we see Shots actually here for the pull. He does get it for just a tag. Not gonna go down, and second window on Renato is big as well. Are we gonna take another fresh look here? Yeah, we're gonna just down Shots and probably put him right back on that same pain res, I imagine.
Yeah, the caster curse coming in straight away. You just said that they shouldn't trade on a pain res hook. Well, that's exactly what just happened. That's gonna be another pain res on the board. Seth is now fully healed due to that that second wind value coming here. Smile still though is injured, so I wonder if the play now for Memories is to try and meet up for that reset. That's probably what you want, as right now in this 3v1 with still a ton of gens on the board, you really kind of want to, you don't want to tackle these gens too fast. You kind of want to slow the pace down just a little bit to try and get Smile back and healthy.
Uh-oh, we
Dino
see a
sending it
crow.
all the way to the edge, is gonna find the injured Aurela, has all the phase, all but the sprint burst coming in, giving Smile just a little bit extra time to survive. They're just going to send it all into this 3 pocket. The correct spot, the very good macro decision, but not going to find a pallet, and that's going to be down onto Smile. But I don't think that there's any pain res hooks near this area, if I'm mistaken.
No, they are all on the other side of the map, and I think that's probably partly going into the decision to slug here, as a hook deep 3 does not really help you at all. There's no pain res, and it's not like you're going to be able to defend to this hook at all. You'd just be hooking and leaving. So we're just going to save our time and go back to our gens, try to play for a better win con. I think this has more progress than it did before, but the survivors did take time to reset. Which, oh, okay, there's Champion of Light Blast Mine, funny perk. Buying them some free time to rotate for the pickup on Crooked Smile. And Dino's, yeah, just going to keep playing this left side of the map and just try to force the survivors into making a mistake and going down in a bad position.
They pick up for Smile, and the Aurela is going to come out eventually. Dino just booking it back towards his 3 corner and the full reset. Whatever healing perk that the memory survivors are allowed access to is helping them greatly. Not only with that fast reset onto Smile, but also getting the fast reset onto Gallo earlier after their first hook. And that's going to be a standard that's going to be a clean M1 onto Seth, and now has the full power of the phase to catch up. And I think now this is when Dino is going to opt for the hook, because with the eruption coming in, that's going to delay the progress on that gen just a tiny bit more, and not going to be able to get a pain res, but taking any hook is, you know, better than nothing.
These hook positions are so unlucky. There's like nothing mid 3 for him. I don't know if you heard as well, but I believe Ace screamed earlier from Dragon's Grip, so he is currently exposed, and his aura was shown here at the 11 generator, so he's somewhere in this area, and we find the exposed Ace. It's gonna run out soon though. Dino needs to hit this phase, and he does! He gets the Dragon's Grip value! That is absolutely huge, because now he gets hooked in the gen spread as well, Monarch.
What can I say? Chekhov's gun. Earlier I mentioned that I was interested to see if the Dragon's Grip is going to go for a cheeky, is going to lead to a cheeky insta-down, and we do end up seeing it. This is a pretty big play, because now Dino, yeah, like you said, has this gen has this hook within a gen spread that they want to defend. And so now this is going to be a lot harder for Memories, because they want to get the Ace out of this area, but at the same time, this is also, we want gens at the same time. Dino is able to just patrol this cross. That is going to be the Aurela tapping the Dragon's Grip to Gen, so now you know Aurilla's on your right side and Renato's on your left, so now you're free to do whatever you want with that information.
Yeah, and one of the best parts about Dragon's Grip is oh,
Oh, the
finesse saving.
finesse!
Wow. I was gonna say one of the best parts about Dragon's Grip is knowing, I mean, just information, knowing that Aurelia is doing that generator at 8, and she can't really come in for this pull without putting
Oh,
herself at risk, which is exactly what we're gonna see. And if we can phase on top of the healthy Aurelia, we get an insta down. But we also have a deathlock on the ace here. To be honest, either one of them is probably okay for Dino right now. I'm gonna listen.
both are okay, but
Ooh.
both are okay, but when you dangle an insta down in front of your face, yeah, you're probably going to take it. That's going to be an insta down onto Smile with the Dragon's Grip value, and that's going to be another pain raise that Dino can finally take advantage of, because, yeah, like you said earlier, all the pain raise hooks are just on the left side of the map. This is a crazy spread. There's, like, all three of them in this one area. It's like, there's, like, a meeting of pain res hooks, and they all just need to attend it. That's gonna be a hook onto Smile. Now all fresh hooks are secured, all pain reses have been used, and now it's all up to Shots and Seth. But this is a very curious predicament, considering that Shots is a death hook, going for the unhook onto the Aurella with the full phase. Listen for the footsteps, but the stun comes in, delaying the down just a little bit. And with the flashlight as well, getting the champion of light value. But the phase is up, and oh my god, that 20% hinter on the phase looks so funny.
Yeah, you really feel that Champion of Light when you start seeing it on like a killer that is naturally faster than like 4.4 or 4.6. Finesse not saving Seth on that vault, as I think the cross ping might have caught him off guard just a little bit, and he's going to be the third survivor injured now. So this is where the survivors kind of get put in a really tough spot. They have a high progress gen here at 11, and they've been trying to work the generator over by the truck as well, but everyone's injured. And at this point, I think you're happy if you can at least get it down to 4K1, but Dino's going to greed and try to find the reset, which he does. Two injured survivors here, both on death hook, and he's going to get a down and a kill potentially here.
Yeah, I think Dino's pretty safe to pick up here, as you know that the reset's going to happen here, and you're also gambling on, like, Smile's probably not going to come back, because with the Dragon's Grip, you knew that during the entire time, no one has touched that gen over at 11 with a lot of progress. This Dragon's Grip is getting a ton of value, as it not only gives information on if a player's nearby, but it also gives information on if a survivor hasn't touched a gen, because if your Dragon's Grip's not popped, no one's touched it yet. So now it's all up left to Shots and Smiles. We're looking at a solid 4K2 here for Dino to start us off.
I'm not sure if I heard this incorrectly, but I believe when that down happened, there was no gen explosion. I think this generator has hit its max regression limits, and they were able to double that out, so they actually get it down to at least 4K1 here.
The sprint burst coming out from Smile to get a little bit extra distance here. They do end up popping that gen, but I think this is the end of the line for Memories here, as Smile just has not a lot to work with. Yeah, so that's going to end up being now potentially a 4K1 for Dinomelon. So honestly, well played to you, Dinomelon, and well played to the Memory Survivors. I was really surprised this match with how much value we got out of Dragon's Grip. It's not a perk that a lot of people really think about when trying to customize their loadouts, but in a match like this, it got a ton of value.
Yeah, there's a couple of killers that I think really excel at using Dragon's Grip, and Spirit's probably the best example of that, of just a killer with a relatively strong chase power that just has to M1 you, right? Like they don't have an M2 attack. A couple other killers that I think I've seen Dragon's Grip on occasionally, but like you said, it's pretty rare. Maybe like Clown or Houndmaster. Oh, and we get the tag through the sprint burst. But yeah, I think Spirit's definitely the best user of Dragon's Grip, as she can really, really punish survivors for being exposed.
And
Oh,
with
nice
one
swing.
last swing out of the phase, this is secure the 4K1. So yeah, no, Spirit definitely showing the strength of Spirit with these phases, just getting these really quick downs onto the Memory Survivors. And that's going to be a wrap for this set. We are going to take a quick break as we swap the sides and see how Memory retaliates, or if Ego will take home the first set. So stick around, we will be right back.
Back everyone to the Ashen Trials. Memories versus Ego. It's a best of 3, and we are on set number 1. We saw Dino Milan on Ego put up a 4K1 last trial, so that's going to be the mark to beat. I'm joined once again by Monarch. Monarch, what do you think about Gallo playing into a 4K1? 4K2 is definitely possible on a killer like Spirit.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Like I said last time, Spirit is one of these sets who has a very strong chase power, so you're expecting and a good mobility power, so you're expecting them to get these really high result. What?
Whoa.
Oh my god, dude! Actually, Z Slasher here just blending into the background, acting like a shadow, like a ninja popping out of nowhere, just to drop the power, just to remind Gallo where he is. We're gonna get that early tag onto Z, and right now the phase is building up. Has just a rock pile to play around. He's gonna end up pre-dropping it. Trying to go for a little bit of a phase fake here, as this is before Z into the deep corner. Oh, the swing nearly misses, but the second swing is going to ring true, as inevitably, once we're done playing Ring Around the Goddamn Rosie, around a locker, a piece of junk, and some tires, that's going to signal the down for Z. Really good macro decision to die within this really deep 3 pocket here, as that might allow for a Agenda Pop, that does allow for Agenda Pop in the distance.
Yeah, we're also going to be denying pain res. I mean, not that he knew there would be no pain res, but, just limiting the amount of hooks that Gallifake has the, ability to get to is really, really nice there. So he's going to force the deep 3 hook, and all the PR tokens are going to be saved, but we see a lot of pressure over here. And it looks like, I'm just looking at the build right now, we've swapped out Dragon's Grip for Sloppy Butchers, so another perk that could help you get faster downs if the survivors don't reset, but not in the same kind of way. And now we have a hill here. You know what I kind of like to do when I have a hill like this? Yeah, stand on top, defend your hook, and just kind of see where the survivors are, trying to get some POV here. He would love to deny this generator over here, but I don't think you can without giving up the hook for free.
Ooh, gonna use the phase, fake the phase in one direction, but gonna swing back towards the Hulk. Gets to swing out of the phase. That's gonna injure onto Dino Milan. God, what the hell, Dino? I can get Dino Milan out. Oh, Dino Milan is gonna be chased further into the deep 3 pocket. It looks like Gallo's not interested in continuing onto Z. They know that this deep pocket is such a dangerous place to be in. That's gonna be down onto Dino Melon. Rather than going for the tunnel on here, it seems like we want to go for another fresh hook on the board. But I don't know. I personally don't know how worth it is, considering the fact that you also don't have a pain res token out here.
Yeah, he'd love to find Z Slasher before the reset happens, but I mean, Sloppy Butcher can slow that down. The one thing about Sloppy that kind of is unfortunate since they changed it, right, is that it's not permanent now. So all that time that you're kind of chilling on hook and then running around, like your mangled is going down that whole time. So the reset might not actually be slowed down by the time they actually go for the heal. We actually haven't popped another generator yet, but we are going to find a survivor on the opposite side of the map. So it's not our injured ace. Injured ace gets healed, but a really nice phase catches Xander off guard at this jungle gym. And now he's going to be, I mean, he's just gone with, I think, Life and Dance With Me, I believe is what that was.
Yeah, it could have been a life dance. It could have also been a lucky break as well, but actually, I don't know if it's banned on that set or not.
I think Lucky Break is banned on Spirit, if I'm not mistaken.
That, you know what, that makes sense. Yeah, just realized how much sense that made in my head. Yeah, but as we mentioned earlier with the Sloppy Butcher, if we recall last time from the last set, they had really strong reset perks on this set. So I wonder if Ego has opted into that as well. That could limit the value of the Sloppy Butcher. Now Z back up and healthy. Dino as well. The only injured survivor right now is Xander on the Claudette. Another gen pops in the distance. Gallo has a couple of eruptions on the board. These eruptions could pop at any time given a good enough chase. With this network of gens, we see Jojo here gonna get off the hill. Really good hearing from Gallo to hear the hill drop, and also to see exactly where Jojo lands. We get a power drop in Gallo's face, as Gallo's gonna enter the phase once more, try and locate Jojo. Not gonna find him immediately. Gonna buy a little bit more time before this tag can even come out. That will be a tag, but look at the gen count we have right now. That is 2 gens. If Gallo wants the win and not a tie or even a loss, you got a 4K right then and there.
Ooh, the Firecracker audio just disguising the injured survivor is a really nice play there from Jojo. And he's dying, you notice as well, on the opposite side of the map of where our first couple of chases are. And this is definitely intentional, as no matter where Gallo hooks from here, the survivors are going to be able to get gen progress. Our 4th generator pops as well, so we have reached the tie condition, and the next generator, if it does pop, will be a win for Ego in the first set.
I think that Ego have positioned themselves pretty strongly for this last gen to pop. Now, granted, looking at the gen spread, it's not great. It's a type 3 gen on this 3 side as well. But the one advantage I think that Ego does have to play around is the fact that they have all members still available. Yes, JoJo's on the hook. Okay, never mind. I'm a liar. JoJo's never not on the hook anymore. But they have all members alive, meaning that they can split their resources as they needed and really tackle these gens however they want, honestly. And with Shaq available as well, this is probably the safest gen to do for the Ego team.
Looks like we're trying to find a reset, which could be huge sloppy value if he does find them. Even if he doesn't like insta down JoJo, he can, you know, regress that healing progress. We have found Ace though. This is gonna be Z Slasher taking chase far away from the generators. There's Eruption down, and Gallo I think knows that he needs to commit to somebody and try to get a down. He has Painter's available on everyone besides JoJo as well. So if he can get this down, he gets Eruption and Pain Res on this side of the map.
Oh, the
My
grab.
goodness. That was honestly an insane phase, and Z Slasher just caught off guard. So that will be Pain Res. We see Aura on somebody working through as well. These survivors are keeping the gen pressure up, and Xander also just working Shaq. You saw the live dance with me early that time, right out of Shaq window.
Like a thief in the knife, like a thief in the night, Xander has disappeared among the stars. But Gallo has his eyes set on a different coordinate. As they're checking on this deep through pocket, that's going to be immediately off the hook. But Gallo is in an interesting spot because on the one hand, you know survivors nearby because gens, maybe they could have changed something. Maybe I haven't read patch notes. Last time I checked, generators don't repair themselves. So we know that there's a survivor there. But at the same time, you have an injure on the Z. I think that if you really want to secure it, there's a Tycon. I think Gallo does. I think it's worth it for Gallo to go for this chase, but it has to be a quick chase onto Z. Oh, Z's not injured, and I think they found the injured Z here. Yeah, they found the injured Z. Okay, so Gallo has a unique opportunity here to get Z out of the game, but JoJo nearby providing the body block, providing the bodyguard value to try and let Z last a little bit longer. Gallo entering the phase, entering the spirit realm. Who will he set his eyes on? Entering out of phase. No survivors in sight. Only the blood marks and the pools of blood. JoJo's gonna be caught. Nowhere to run. Goes for the vault on the pallet, but the eruption erupts. As that is going to be 2 explosions on the gen and some info as well. Z Slasher's still in this game, but now JoJo's on Deathlock as well. And they really want this last gen to pop. I don't think he has an eruption token on JoJo. I could be wrong. No, actually he does.
Oh, he already used. He has it on Dino still.
Dino and Xander, I believe, yeah.
Yep. So, I mean, this shin is so high, but you have to go straight to 3. If the survivors are doubling, that generator is ready to pop. They do get the heal off, so it's just not quite done. This is just Dino working on this, I think, by himself.
You can see here, this is really where the value of eruption can come into hand. When you have an eruption tag on multiple generators, and that lets you get the safety of like, okay, I can commit to this chase because if I get this down fast enough, that eruption will like prevent these pop gen from at least insta popping, so it gives you that bit of security. Ooh, but we see a really high progress on Shaq as well, but the survivor survivors repairing it have disappeared. Once again, this is really the strength of this is why you want a tunnel out. It's because the 4v1 is so much harder to play as a killer compared to the 3v1, and with all members of like Ego still up, they can go for this reset onto JoJo and to Dino, and they still have 2 active members around the area allowed to repair on gens. Now, I think they're going to slow the pace down just a little bit to try and get everyone healthy and to re-tackle these gens, but Gallo really has a lot of pressure mounting on himself to secure this 4K.
Yeah, playing for resets, you do kind of... you have the risk, right, of your generators just regressing the whole time you're playing for these resets. And if the reset gets found, which it does, then you weren't doing anything that whole time. However, I mean, it's really risky to get on the gens, and then if you get found on the gens while they're resetting, and then you're just completely out of position. So with the 8 kick or 10 kick limit, whatever it is, on the generators with Eruption and Pain Res and all that, you can really play for this max regression limit. But JoJo is going to be taken out of this match, sent back to the lobby. And I don't know if 3 has enough progress to pop. It's going to be really high if anybody rotated for it. I know Dino was the one working it earlier, but he rotated all the way back over there to reset with JoJo. And, oh, Shaq and 3 are both so high right now.
The game is currently bouncing on the knife's edge. Dino Melon, oh, I see the strat here, asserting dominance, using the verticality to really assert dominance over Gallo. But I don't think Gallo realizes the danger he's in. Not realizing the vertical play has already been established. But yeah, no, both of these guys are so high. That's gonna be a double onto this gen. And if Z is nearby for the gen in deep 3, then he might actually be able to pop it in Dino Melon's chase. There's no eruption on the board, so a pop here is not gonna result in any explosions of gens. Stun onto Gallo fake here. It's going to allow Dino to last a little bit longer. I think Dino really needs to chase. He needs to last in chase. The swing is not going to connect true. That's going to be the last gen popping for Ego, and that will allow Ego to confirm the win of the Spirit set.
Yeah, Ego just played this at the perfect pace to ensure that they had good gen pressure, but they weren't forcing it so much that they were playing too risky, playing injured, and you know, giving Gallo free downs. They played it really smart and reset when they had to, and got generator pressure as much as they could. So they're going to take Spirit set. I mean, are the gates going to be open? I think we're going to see probably one more Survivor dying, but ultimately, like you said, it won't really matter. Ego will take the win in the Spirit set. This was their pick, so I'm sure they're happy to take the win here. As we swing through the palette, we get the Dino Dwight here. And our next pick, actually from Memories, is going to be Freddy on Dead Dog Saloon. I love... the new Freddy is so fun to me. I'm really looking forward to that set. And Dead Dog, one of the classic comp maps as well, as we force Xander out. You think Z's playing for Dino here?
I think so. Earlier, there's like a ton. I was casting the Winter versus Paradox match. There was a ton of times which a survivor was just on the floor, like under a pallet, and I thought someone would go for the pallet save. Low key, this would be kind of demon if Z/Slasher went for the pallet save here. This would be like an ultimate, like, nothing matters, just go for it kind of moment. Dino's still on the ground, you know, trying to get, you know, something out of this. But Xander's just forced out the gate. So I do wonder what the game plan is. But yeah, no, just really excellent micro play from Ego here. Really just knowing where to pressure and like when to reset and where to really take chases. And I think that ultimately allowed them, especially the fact that I think that I just don't know how much value Sloppy Butcher really got in the end, because you saw that how the game lasted at the end. Everyone was healthy, and there was definitely a ton of tags on the board, but everyone remained healthy. So I don't know, with all of these healing perks available, I just think that Sloppy Butcher wasn't able to get as much value as, say, a Dragon's Grip.
You see Gallo tapping power here. You know, this actually is a really interesting strat because you can get the outline of a survivor to kind of pop up. You can kind of see it on Dino on the ground every time he pops. There's like the survivor kind of gets highlighted. He's using this to try to find Z/Slasher, and Z/Slasher comes in. I mean, somebody's getting up or somebody's dying here. Maybe both survivors dying. I'm not gonna lie.
Was that? I think I was trying to get a little bit of a CJ where like you, or at least like you stun the pal and get like the Dino on one side, but I think Dino just didn't on the right side there. That's interesting. I didn't know that. Honestly,
it's a
if I was
neat little spirit trick, yeah.
Yeah, okay. If I didn't, honestly, if I looked at that, I just assumed that he was just, you know, just bored. I don't know. That looks like something you do when you're bored, just tapping power just a little bit. Okay, surely Z doesn't go for this, right? We can just move on to the next set, surely.
Yeah, I think being injured, you're kind of cooked here. I mean, I'm not sure he can play for the gate, though. Gallo has really good vision on the gate that's open. I don't think the other one has been touched just yet, so he might have to just try to be patient here and try to go for the hatch. I'm gonna peek over. Looks like he's making his way towards the gate. He was the sprint burst survivor as well. So Z gonna get out, but we will see 8 stages here for Gallifig. A very respectable result. GG's to Memories on this set for sure.
Ashen Trials Season 1 here. We are continuing our group stage matchup of Memories versus Ego. Last time we left off, Dino Milan on the side of Ego helped them secure the win on the Spirit set, but we have moved on to quite a different set. Moving a little bit lower in the tier list, but not too far. We have the Nightmare in the Dead Dog Saloon, piloted by Gallo here. Gonna get a really early chase onto Jojo, using those dream snares to try and pull Jojo, lull him to a deep lullaby. We have him in the Nightmare realm now, as these exploding pallets can be the death of you, depending on if you step a little wrong. Just gonna end up using the pallet, gonna end up using the Gen TP to just catch a different survivor. It's gonna be Z slash. Will they make it to this pallet? A swing coming through. Ooh, I was expecting that to be a hit, especially on cross ping. But we are just going to continue chase onto Z. Z going to book it all the way to the water tower. I personally believe that this is a strong pallet, but you do got to win your 50s here. Oh, and barely misses the M1. And this match has started off so strong. I haven't been able to introduce my co-caster. I'm joined once again by Jaqnife. Jaqnife, what do you think about this overall, about this set?
Yeah, I mean, we are off to a really strong start, and I think Z Slasher just re-upped his subscription to the premium version of Exit Lag. He is not taking any of these hits on the 50-50s. We're off to a pretty good start. I think one of the best things that Freddy can do, right, is delay the early game for a little bit and force the survivors into the dream world. If you can not let them immediately get on generators, you can kind of build up the kind of side objective that they have to do throughout the match, and waste a bit of time that way. So we don't have any tags yet, but I don't mind leaving first chase there on Z and trying to interrupt these survivors working gens. And with the snare, we actually forced the medium vault, and Xander, we ran back into the killer here.
Oh, what the heck?
A little bit of an early swing. He tried to short swing it and doesn't actually connect. I don't think it's gonna make too big of a difference as Xander still goes down, but yeah, what a fast-paced start to this game. You'd think this was still an S-tier set.
Elephant, gotta go back to the gym. Gotta work on those bicep curls. The length of the swings is just not exactly what you want. This is gonna be the first gen popping, as the build seems pretty standard overall, so no spice in the build, so we really just gotta focus on the actual macro play at hand. We are gonna see a lot of pressure on this deep cactus gen, as JoJo's not quite JoJo's not quite
generators. Sorry, like I'm seeing why Xander kind of ran back at the killer there. Then you see we have gallows and then 3 more generators, all in the desert area. They have a crazy 4-gen over there, so he's like death spot over everything. We have high progress on 2 of these gens. As long as I can get 2-tapped here, as long as I don't die on top of the 4-gen, we should be able to play for this. And I think that's, I mean, it looked a bit silly at first. Sorry to interrupt, but I'm starting to see I can just imagine, right, the comms of don't go desert, don't go desert, don't go gallows.
Yeah, that's the reason this map has a very interesting spread of it. Pretty much naturally will always have a 3-gen within the desert area, so it's up to survivors to really play around and prevent that really strong, because if you have that 3-gen available to you, that is a very strong position to be in if you're a killer. Xander making all the way to the I messed up pallet over at 11, but I don't think this will last very long, especially taking that snare just to get a vault back and forth, back and forth. Oh my god, that's another vault. If you shut off the actual video, you would think that I was talking about an Olympic track star making it over the vaults, but no, this is just Xander over a wooden pallet in Dead by Daylight. Snare coming in for the another hinder, and that's another going to be the down. I have never seen that many vaults back to back on this pallet before. That's crazy.
Yeah, Xander just renamed the 50-50 to the 90-10. He won so many of those in a row, and now we're going to get him on a pain res hook here. So slowing down our highest progress gen, I think that was Z Slasher's gen. And yeah, we've broken the 3-gen in the desert, and I think the survivors are in a pretty decent spot here. They don't have to fast pull this, but if Gallo just full leaves hook and commits to chase, they're going to be free to, and I think they'll still be able to play for outs as long as, Xander can have a chase. Looks like we've found Z once again. We'll see if his ping still kind of carries here. Nah, he loses 50 and actually does get tagged this time. Jojo's going to pop gen, and I think JoJo's going to have to be the one going for pull here.
Yeah, he's going to take that hit, but it is a pretty good hit. It leaves Gallo in the deeper part of the map. It allows Z to take that vault to get a little bit of extra distance between them, as we are going to see Gallo go straight back to the unhook here. That was Dino Melon going for the unhook onto their teammate, and I think Gallo right now is just going to commit onto the Dino Melon. Put that log in the way. Who put that log there? That's crazy.
Somebody needs to move that log. I'm sure Dino would appreciate that.
I think that's an OSHA violation to have a log that close. I think
right next to the main building and the window and the way my bank accounts are set up, that's got to be a violation.
We are going to see Chase continue on to Dino Melon. Dino Melon is going to keep this down. We'll take it down, but taking down, if you look, pretty far away from every gens that they want. Or actually, I might have mistaken it for a gen that can't. Oh, okay, no, never mind. Wait. Wait, this colorblind setup is messing with my head. Wait, no, wait. So the orange gens. Wait, Jack, take over.
Yeah, we have a generator deep in the desert still, and then main and in front of main. So I think Gallo, realizing that he's probably not playing for a 4K at this point, is happy to take the fresh look onto Dino, understanding that the tunnel out is not the most important thing right now, and just collecting as many stages as possible is in his favor. So I mean, ideal survivor to find right now would probably be Z Slasher, as he's already injured, and another fresh hook.
Yeah, absolutely. We're gonna see here really gen pressure all across the board. I think they're trying to slow the pace of this game down just a little bit, try and get everyone back to the healthy state before they can really re-tackle these gens. But the unhook is going to be a reset onto Dynamon is going to be delayed as Jojo's going to get the hit for it. And now I think you could potentially try and commit onto Jojo. Oh my god, Jojo. Using his eyes to nearly avoid the exploding pallet but Jojo's kind of stuck in this area as well, going to be forced back with this down. I believe that there is a pain resistance gen nearby that could start a bit of a snowball for Gallowfake here. Depends on how long this chase goes on. Well, we do see two survivors working on the main gen. I believe I saw a doubling on the main gen. I don't know if Gallowfake caught that. Probably did. Oh, the Vault nearly does not produce a hit for Gallowfake there, as Gallowfake just forced the TP back all the way into deep 3 to try and interrupt this deep desert gen, as Xander's going to run into the killer.
Okay, we didn't realize where the TP happened. I think maybe expected the TP to be on the main generator, but all the way in desert caught Xander off guard, and now this isn't going to be a fresh look, but it is a death hook survivor. If you can get this, yes, we do. The poke goes through the pallet. We could take a death hook now onto Xander.
Death hook on the Xander. Finally, one of these swings goes in favor of Gallowfake, as now that leaves the 3 remaining Eagle survivors to pick up the pieces. But they are picking up the pieces, but they are given a jigsaw like puzzle board that's like almost 80% done, because you have a lot of pressure on main, you have a lot of pressure deep into the desert area. So I think with this setup, you don't have like a rune or anything to passively regress gens. You just have to worry about the eruption procs and the pain resistance as well. Oh, but there's a lot of pressure here over at one decent amount of pressure being built up. So yeah, they have a decent spread of pressure all across the board here. We'll see how Ego wants to tackle this. Gallowfake gonna take the TP onto the already completed Gallows gen. Gallo on Gallo action as the TP comes through. I think Gallo kind of is looking towards the desert area, trying to see if they can scout the survivor working there, but they're just going to walk back over to 1 as we hear the injured grunts of Dynamelon working on main. Do we commit to this? I think the answer is yes for Gallo, potentially.
Yeah, I think Ego survivors have realized that they have enough gen pressure. They can commit to the injured game at this point and force a final generator to pop. The generators are not super tight here. You know, despite Freddy having the ability to teleport virtually to any area of the map, he can't really defend these generators because of the cooldown. And Jojo just makes that vault. Of course he does. We're gonna have to break this pallet gem before we can commit the chase. This is another fresh look though. Like, I think this is kind of an ideal situation, as I think game is stuttering a little bit for me right now.
There is he. Ooh, the vault once again for Jojo. The second time that Jojo's utilized that higher elevation vault to try and survive a little bit longer. We're going to get teleport directly onto Z's gen, interrupting that progress, but Z has been injured. Z has been healed healthy this whole time, so it's not going to result in an injure with the pallet storm coming through the swing. Z is just playing around this pallet right now, giving time for the main gen to be popping. The main gen will pop before Gallo can reach it with the TP. So now the survivors scatter through the wind, trying to see if they can get as many. It's not up to generators anymore. Now Ego really want to stretch how many stages they can get through.
Yeah, and we're chasing the one survivor, unfortunately, that has already been hooked. We left Jojo over at 1 and just couldn't commit to Z Slasher because he had too many pallets and resources in the desert area. So now, I mean, you'd love to get Jojo, but you might have to settle for 6 stages here.
All maximum vaults on the back back main window has been used, so now Dino is just running all over the place, trying to get anything they can. They're going to avoid the snare. They can make it to the fast vault on this window. No, they can't actually. They got tagged by the snare. The hinder coming at the last second, preventing the fast vault. Yeah, but as you said earlier, if they could get Z and JoJo through the gates, that's JoJo out the gate, and that's also Z very nearby. These are the fresh hooks. If they can get both of them out, that's very massive, because that's going to allow our fresh hooks to potentially be a win condition for the upcoming set. We're going to be chasing Z throughout the desert area. I wonder what the play for Ego is here, because surely JoJo leads, or are they going to try and get Melon off the ground?
I don't know. Maybe trying to buy enough time for Dino to crawl to the hatch spawn at Shack here. I don't think JoJo wants to risk going into the map injured, but Z's just kind of buying time for him to crawl. I think Gallo realizes exactly what they're doing, and he's gonna go pick up Dino or close hatch before he can spawn in. Oh, it's so they almost timed that.
Oh my god,
perfectly.
Z pulling out the fucking the cheerleader pom-pom outfit and just like doing the ultimate distraction game to try and shift Gallo's attention. But with that, I mean, like I said earlier, this is a 2k6, but it's only with 2 fresh hooks. There's still 2 freshes that made it out of the gate. That could potentially be a win condition that the Ego Killer can play around.
Yeah, absolutely. Two fresh hooks, 6 stages, a pretty standard result for Freddy. So that will be the mark to beat after this short break. All right, welcome back to Ashen Trials. I believe this is our last match of the day, unless Memories can pull out a win here. They are playing into basically a 6-stage win con. They need to get less than 6 stages and get out the gates here. And Dino Melon on the killer, trying to prevent them from doing so. My name is Jack. I'm joined once again by Monarch. Monarch, it is going to be a tough task on a map like Dead Dog Saloon, such a small map, to try to give up so few stages. But if these survivors play the chase as well, and if they, you know, give good comms and just don't give free... Okay, I was going to say, don't die to the fake pallets. You know, something that's doable for sure. This main building can be really, really annoying to deal with as well.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. This main building has a very annoying loop to play around for most M1 survivors. Ooh, but I think the build-up over time of the snares and the slows has given Dino that first initial tag onto Crooked Smile. Crooked, you gotta turn around, bro. Oh, never mind. It's not going to work in the end. Oh, but Crooked Smile, both Dino and Crooked Smiles leap off of the main building. Action still in hand. Can Crooked make it to this pallet? I don't think so. That's going to be a first down for Dino Melon here, as that will allow 2... I know, I believe that's just 1 gen. The pallet save! Oh my god. I thought we were about to see the first pallet save of the day. Or there might have been one earlier. I'm not sure.
Yeah, it was really, really close. If Dino had allowed Nia to crawl for just another second, I think Gallo would have sent it for the pallet save. We will take our first hook, though, our first pain res as well. And this was actually really good for Dino, because he hooked on top of the generator that got hit with pain res. So knowing that this was one of their highest progress gens at the time is good info for the killer side. You know, you would love to interrupt the gen and actually stop it, but we'll take the knowledge that nobody else has a gen higher. And there's actually only 2 generators in desert this time. That's really interesting. We have kind of a right-sided gen spread this time.
I actually wonder, is it that, or was it the gen that they popped the 3rd desert gen, and did they already break? No, okay.
No, they popped one by the water tower.
Oh yeah. This is gonna be back onto the okay, that hit looked a little funny. Dino literally, it looked like Dino reached over Nia's shoulder to like graze oh my god, what's her character name again? Whatever, it doesn't matter. Nancy, yeah. We're gonna keep chase onto the water tower here, having to play around the water tower pallet. I firmly believe in this pallet being a strong pallet, but you gotta win your 50s around this pallet here. Will the 50s be won? No, but the life coming in either way, it does not matter. Now Dino's back to square one if he wants to get it down on the Crooked Smile here. Crooked Smile has a little bit of work to play with the swing, and yeah, you gotta, that's one of those hits where you realize, yeah, this is a cross ping matchup, because I feel like on similar ping that wouldn't have been a swing. That feels a little like a gray zone.
Yeah, definitely the 50-50s become a little unsafe the higher ping you are on. That's going to be another hook, but not a pain res this time, as it was already used, so survivors are going to be able to keep their gen progress for free. Oh, actually, Dino could have, if he could have erupted that dream pallet in time, he could have got a cheeky tag here onto Claude, who is going to the porta potty pallet here. We get the blind, and he's just gonna break. Is this gonna buy enough time for the unhook? I'm not sure if anybody's in position or if they want to pull this early. They only have 2 generators done so far, so the more time that you can kind of leave Mia on hook is, you know, just more free gen pressure. However, we are getting tags, and with Nancy already injured from our previous chase, I mean, it's going to be really difficult to get the unhook now without Seth just coming in for a trade. So we might see Dino try to camp this out.
And pops in the distance, and that might be another gen popping as well. Yeah, there's gonna be another gen popping. These gens are going by pretty fast, but so is Smiles's hook stage, as now they're down to just the last few seconds of their stage 2 struggle. With both Gallo and Hugo still injured, they can't go for the double save in time. I don't think they can reset in time, so it has to come down to Seth. And actually, I don't think that Seth can make it, because I think Dino still has the option. The body block. Oh, Seth slides straight in at the last second, right before Smile dies. That's huge for the side. That is huge for Memories, as that actually prevents Smile from going down. So now Smile has a little bit of extra time to play with. That looked very bad if Smile did die on the hook right then and there. But Memories has been given a little bit of a lifeline to play with, but Hugo will go down on the top side of the map. Oh, and this is also finding Gallo way. Oh my god, the tides are turning for Ego here, as all survivors of the positions of all the Memory survivors are known for Dino. He can really choose to really do what he wants, and he's going to end up going back for Hugo, as he knows that there's not going to be anyone nearby for the pallet save.
Yeah, you talked about in the last set as well that two fresh stages could end up making a difference. As Dino now has collected 3 fresh hooks, we will see a win if he can get to 6. The survivors now need to, you know, get that 5 stage out to win the set. So, and we're already at 4, so 2 more hooks on literally any survivor. It doesn't matter who, and that'll be the win for Ego. And I think Dino's feeling good about that, as we find another injured survivor, as these survivors just haven't had time to go for resets and get themselves healthy again, or having to play a little bit dangerously here.
Yeah, I think what's helping those resets come out is the Sloppy Butcher. They really can't reset that efficiently, because not only can you have the Sloppy Butcher mangled coming in, you also have to deal with the fact that if you try and reset while you're in the Nightmare Zone, that allows Freddy to just TP on you, because you also got to worry about snapping out of it, waking back up, and then resetting. That's why Sloppy is finding a lot of value on Nightmare here, as Dynamelon's gonna get that hook. Yeah, like he said, 1 more hook. So not only is it just 1 more hook that they can't let go, they also need to rescue Seth off this hook, because if Seth dies, then that's GG's. That's game for Ego. And I think Dino might have spotted their last prey. The Velociraptor arms are coming out. They're trying to hunt. They catch Hugo here. Hugo now in the dream state. They're susceptible to a dream snare. Is this going to be it? That's going to be the down onto Hugo. And if Dynamelon just secures this stage, Seth off the hook, but I don't think anyone's going to be nearby for a potential flashy save. I could be wrong, though, but the wall is nearby. They could potentially prevent, I don't know, like...
I don't know, you have 2 people injured as well, so it's not like you can take a bunch of hits.
That's 6 stages with the 3 freshes. That is WinCon.
Yeah, we'll see what these survivors are going to play for. I mean, they have a decent amount of progress here, actually, as Dino's going to be putting down Eruption. He does have 1 stack of Pain Res as well on Gallo, the Nancy, so he could potentially play for 4K here. The generators aren't super spread out, as we saw kind of the survivors just kind of running wherever they could try to extend chase, and maybe have left themselves a bit of a tough generator spread for the final gen here.
Yeah, although you do have to keep it to account that Freddy is a killer capable of literally just... Oh, Gale's not taking the vault. He hears that he sees that the Freddy is not falling up immediately. Oh, but you hear the drop now come out. But you have to remember that Freddy is a killer that can technically TP to any gen on the map. That's going to be the last gen popping here, as Gallo still in chase. Could potentially prevent all 4. You know, you could prevent all 4 fresh hooks from coming out, but the body blocks are now coming out. Oh, but you can't see. You cannot stay at the pallet for long. That is going to be a pallet explosion hit. I was low-key waiting for that the whole game.
Yeah, I love to see the pallet plays. It can be really, really interesting tools for zoning, or just anti-loop in general if you have them in the right location. So Dino playing the nice guy killer here, as he's not tunneled anyone. He's collected, you know, hooks on all 4 survivors now. So nobody can complain in the end game about Survivor rulebook, yada yada, something something. I don't know. I'm just making stuff up, but you get the ideas. As Dino has collected all 4
Yeah,
freshes
actually, it's
now.
really weird if the killers still exist on the map. I think behavior should change that, actually.
True and real. The killer has to shake all of their hands and tell them good game.
Yeah,
I mean, all 3 survivors injured. I don't really think they can safely play for this without resetting. I
yeah, and I
would
don't
love to
think
see them play
they.
for a 4 out though. That would feel good, but they're gonna have to reset first.
Yeah, they're not going for the reset right now as Daniel's kind of committing. Oh, you see a notice where I think they're just saying, yeah, bro, I'm sorry, man. We tried our best. Ooh, actually, they do go for the unhook, but can Gallo body block this in time for Hugo to get literally. No, cancel that thought.
It looked like Geller was trying to play for a cheeky firecracker there at the end with his 15 seconds of borrowed time. Is he gonna run out before he makes it out the gate? Yeah, I was gonna say we wasted a little too much time here, so gonna force these survivors out with a high five in the exit gate. Dino's gonna take his win. But very well played to both teams. This is a really exciting match to watch. I think Freddy matches in general are really fun and interesting. The balance of micro and macro gameplay on a map like DDS is really neat. So we'll be taking likely a 2K here with a decent stage result as we have only 2 hooks out the gate so far.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Well played to both teams, honestly, but well played to Ego for having this really strong performance on the killer side and just a really interesting macro experience on the survivor side as well. We do say Hugo trying to go for the hatch, but it's just all in vain. So that's gonna be it. That was the last match for today, but do stick around for tomorrow. Tomorrow there's a bunch of matches lined up. But that's gonna be it for today. I've been Monarch, joined by Jaqnife. Jaqnife, thank you so much for joining me on this cast.
Absolutely, it was a pleasure. I hope everyone has a wonderful evening, and we'll see you right back here tomorrow.